Hi everyone, welcome to another virtual walking tour. My name is Jared, and behind me is the Bell Memorial, one of Brantford's most recognizable monuments. Now this isn't actually the only monument in the area, there are many. So today we're going to be looking at some of the monuments that grace this downtown. Let's go take a look. W.F. Cockshut first broached the idea of building a memorial in honor of Alexander Graham Bell, the inventor of the telephone. The Bell Telephone Memorial Association was incorporated in 1906, and over $65,000 was raised through donations. In 1908, sculptors were asked to submit plans for the Memorial Designs Committee. Walter S. Alward, a sculptor of Toronto, won the competition. The memorial was originally supposed to be completed by 1912 to be ready for the 40th anniversary of the invention of the telephone in 1914, but for many reasons it was not finished until 1917. The memorial was designed to symbolize the telephone's annihilation of distance. To commemorate the invention of the telephone by Alexander Graham Bell in 1874 is inscribed on the monument. Duke of Devonshire, the Governor-General of Canada, unveiled this memorial on October 24, 1917. Bell made a speech where he insisted that the telephone was conceived in Brantford. After the First World War, the local branch of the IODE, or Imperial Order of the Daughters of the Empire, were the sole contributors of $1,500 to build a monument to loyalty, bravery, and sacrifice as a tribute to those from the Brant County area who made the ultimate sacrifice during the Great War. It was erected in Gore Park at the corner of Brant Avenue and Colburn Street, where the Royal Bank building stands today and the Wall of Fame. The Cenotaph was designed by local architect F.C. Bodley. The Cenotaph was unveiled 5 years after the war on November 11, 1923. The inscription engraved on the base of the cenotaph reads, "Let those who come after see to it that their names be not forgotten." The inscription is the same as appears on the King George V medal given to wives and mothers of fallen soldiers. On June 2, 1992, almost 7 decades later, the cenotaph was moved to Tom Thumb Park and rededicated on Remembrance Day that year. The Brant War Memorial Association was organized in 1921 to erect a fitting monument to the 701 local men and women of Brantford, Brant County, and Six Nations who had died during World War I. The association wanted to raise $75,000 to pay for the memorial, but after 5 years they had only collected $16,000. So in 1927 the committee was reorganized with a new monetary goal of $150,000. Walter S. Alward, the designer of the Bell Memorial, and Vimy Ridge in France, also designed the Brant County War Memorial. Construction began in 1932 and was finished and dedicated the next year. To honor the 339 men and women of Brantford, Brant County, and Six Nations who died during World War II and the Korean War, plus new additions like Afghanistan, the Merchant Navy, and UN peacekeepers who died in action, in 1952 a granite memorial gallery was designed by Charles Brooks and was added as a backdrop to the original monument. In 1987, a new Brant County War Memorial Committee was formed to replace the previous one, which disbanded in 1960. This committee raised the money needed to complement the memorial with 7 bronze statues, 3 men and 4 women representing all the branches of the Canadian services. These bronze figures were sculpted by Helen Granger Young of Winnipeg. These statues were unveiled on September 12, 1992, the same year the original cenotaph was moved to Tom Thumb Park. These changes made the cenotaph a memorial to war. The Armouries was built in 1893 with the main drill hall and other related rooms. The 2 Norman turrets and a tower in baronial style were added later in 1904. The Armouries was the focal point of the local history of the Dufferin Rifles, named after Earl of Dufferin, Governor-General from 1872 to 78, which begins to use the Armouries in 1893, followed by the 56th Field Regiment Royal Canadian Artillery, which is the reason for the howitzer cannon in the park. The Armouries demonstrates Canadian government's move to form a Canadian militia and military force in the 1870s, 80s, and 90s, as Canada becomes responsible for its own national defense after Britain removed the last of its forces in December 1871. At the east end of the Lorne Bridge, in front of the Armouries, on what is known as Jubilee Terrace, stands a monument to those men from Brantford, Brant County, who fought in the South African, or more accurately the Second Anglo-Boer War. This monument was unveiled on Victoria Day 1903. There are 24 individuals currently recognized on the local Wall of Fame. The Wall of Fame has been consolidated into one new concourse rather than being spread around the city core and could accommodate more than 60 honorees. The new concourse was dedicated on October 19, 2013. The concourse features Brantford icons such as Joseph Brant, Alexander Graham Bell, Wayne and Walter Gretzky, Dr. James Hillier, Pauline Johnson, Olympians and Paralympians from Brantford Brant, and many more.